Hello everyone, welcome to Congolese Music. This is your humble servant, Patient. It is always a privilege and a tremendous honor for me to come before your screens, whether it's a small screen or a big screen. It is always a privilege for me to come and to demonstrate or to share the little knowledge that we have acquired throughout the years. It's not like I'm better than you, but it's just that we know how to combine some of those notes to produce good melodies. So we want to share that with you. So at least, through that journey of learning, you might learn one or two things. So today I come before your little screens with a tutorial that was requested by a brother from Canada. Let me just get my iPad and I'll read what he's saying. So a brother called Jeremiah Ndikai. I don't know if I pronounce your name properly, sir. I do apologize in advance. Some of the surnames here are really challenging to pronounce. But anyway, it's a brother, Jeremiah Ndikai. He's written a message saying this. I'm reading. Hello, humble servant patient. My name is Jeremiah Ndikai. I'm from Canada and I'm still learning to play the guitar. I was wondering if you could do a tutorial on rhythm called AGWAYA. If you can also include the intervals of the 10th and to show us how to utilize them in the melodies. It is always a privilege to watch your video and we are blessed. May our God bless you. Oh, I feel like I'm reading a love letter here. Anyway, Jeremiah, I'm really intrigued by your question. That is why I've composed that piece of melody that I played at the beginning. It's not I've composed it for you, but it's something I've been playing over the years. When I saw your message, I thought, I've got one in my repertoire. I was about to say in my laboratory. But yeah, I've got one in my repertoire that I can utilize to demonstrate how to use the intervals of the 10th. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the tutorial of today, which will demonstrate how to play the 10th intervals, from any key, but we will start from the key in which we're playing. So before commencing the tutorial, let's put some foundation here. I've always wanted to put foundation so that you know where the house is going to be built upon. Now our foundation is this. The first foundation is that we need to determine in which key we're playing the song. The song is played in the key of A. A for alpha. Alpha, first letter of the alphabet. So A is our key. Or La for the French speakers. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la, la. So the key in which we're playing is A. Now the A I'm talking about on the guitar, you can find it here, which is our tonic. So you call A here. You have A here. You have A here. So we need to be able to play the 10th intervals and the key of A from all those different positions. And I will demonstrate it just step by step. Stay tuned. Now that we have put the first foundation, which was to determine the key in which we're playing the song, we move on to the next foundation that I like to put, which is the progression of our melody. So the rhythmic guitar that was playing when I was playing the melody, the rhythmic guitar is actually what we call 1, 4, 5, 4, 1. In our Congolese music, we call it deux temps. It simply means we're playing 1, 4, 5, 4, 1. Now, if playing in the key of A, if A is our tonic, if A is number 1, then our number 4 will be D for delta. And then our number 5 will be E for echo. So to put it in a simple term, without playing the melody, we are playing A, D, E, D, A. I'll play the chords without the melody. What I will do is I'll just hum the melody through my voice. I know I have a beautiful voice, come on. But listen to what I'm doing here. A here, D, E, D, A. If I add the melody, it goes like this. better than, better than, better than, better than, better than, better than, better than. So even though the melody sounds intricate, the basics is the same. We're playing in a key of A and we're playing a progression of 1 4 5 4 1 2 temps. Very simple and that easy. Now that we have put the second foundation, which was to determine the progression of our chords, we need to look at one component which would enable us to utilize the 10th intervals, and that component is the foundation of all the music around us, which is the major scale. Now, if you do know the major scale, if you know how to play it, then that's great. This can only be a repetition for you. But if you don't know the major scale, this is the time for you to learn how to play the major scale in the key of A. I'll take it step by step. I'll demonstrate it throughout the whole fretboard of our guitar. Watch carefully. Let's now play the major scale of A from this position here. You can play that backwards as well, so at least you have the whole backward and forward position in your head. So you need to be able to play that, but on top of that, I would strongly recommend you to number those notes as you're playing them. So by that I mean this: if you play A, make it 1 because that's your tonic. That is the key in which you're playing. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You go back to 1. You've noticed that we've played the same note, but on a different octave. By an octave, I mean we have completed the whole sequence of our 7th note, and then we've carried on playing the same note but on a higher octave. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've completed that. We move again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You need to be able to play the major scale on different octave without stopping. So we've played the major scale of A from this position. Let's now move on to this position here. So from this position we have so many possibilities. We can start here. Or we can play it like this. That's us playing that major scale of A from this position here. Now let's move on to the last position, which is here. And let us play the major scale from this position. after playing the major scale throughout the fretboard, you need to be able to connect them. You need to be able to start one place and end up on a different place just by playing with those notes of your major scale. For example, you can do something like this. You need to be able to connect those notes, you know, move them about. Don't just get stuck in one position. You can start from here and then you're already here. It's really hard to just stuck with one scale if you probably know a lot of them, because I've got that habit of probably trying to include a chromatic or something else. But the point I'm trying to make here, just, you know, restrict yourself to just the major scale. If you haven't mastered it, take your time. Make sure you connect them. Don't just get stuck in one position, because I've met some guitarists where they can't play a major scale from a different position. You need to be able to find those notes even in areas like here where you're uncomfortable, because if once you practice how to play them from here and here, remember there's that gap in between here. So you need to be able to find those notes there and practice them as well, because that would help you understand the major scale. So I'm pretty sure we've covered the major scale from this position to this and to this, which is a whole fretboard, because here it's only repetition. So here is similar to here. Once you're here, that's your last one. So you need to be able to find the major scale in, like, if you start from one key, like for this instance, we're playing the key of A, you play your major scale from here, find it here, play here, play here. And once you've completed that, then you can move on to the next part of this course, which is now to look at the 10th intervals. Now watch this. The 10th intervals, as the name suggests, are the intervals of combining. If the note you start with is a 1, the next note within the sequence of that major scale is the 10th. Now, for instance, if A is our number 1, we need to find the 10th note in the major scale of A. When we combine that note with 1, it becomes the 10th intervals. Watch this. Let's count the note of our major scale from 1 to 10, and then we'll see what was the 10th interval on the key of A. So if we hear, if this is our number 1, we will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you were to play A here and this here, that's your 10th interval. But this position is a bit awkward. You won't be able to play it properly. So we need to find another A that would allow us to play 1 and 10 without having to stretch our fingers like this. So the better position to do it is, think about it. If this is your number 1, remember your strings as well. The second string is an A. So if I also played open A, which is equivalent to this A here. So if I play the open string and our C sharp. I was about to say D sharp. Our C sharp. C is here. C sharp or D flat. So if you play your D flat or C sharp, same note but just different names. If you play A and C sharp, that is your 10th interval. No matter where you count it. Even if we come here, if this is our number 1, this is A, number 1. If we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. C sharp. Remember C is here. C sharp is here. So the note here, this note here is our C sharp or D flat. If we combine it with 1 here, that's a 10th interval. So we need to be able to play that even within that major scale of A. This is what I meant. This is for A. The next note is this one. So if we take the second note and then count, so if it becomes as 1, if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, D and B, that's the 10th interval in the major scale of A. I don't want you to get it confused. It is always a 10th interval within the key in which you're playing. So B, from B to D is a 10th interval in the major scale of A. Our job is to go through the progression of the major scale and find those 10th interval. We've got the A here. We found the B. We can go on. Now, your job is to make sure that you find those intervals everywhere in that key that you're playing. I can't go into, the depth of that, because even if I was here, it is still the 10th interval. So your job is to make sure you practice them within the key in which you want to practice. For this instance, the key of A. You need to be able to find those 10th interval. No matter where you play them, that number 1 that you're combining it with, if you count it within the major scale of that key, it was going to be the 10th note. That's what's called the 10th interval. So now that we have established the key in which you're playing, which was A, we've established the progression of our chords, which was 1, 4, 5, 4, 1, 2 temps. We've established the major scale of our key, the major scale of A, and we've found out how to utilize or how to find those 10th interval within that key. Let's now dive into the melody of the piece I played at the beginning, which will now become very clear of what I was using there. Again, still using the 10th intervals. This is how my melody started. Now, I'm holding this chord here. I'm going to break it down for you. It looks a bit fancy, but there's nothing fancy about it. It is just the E. Remember, E is our 5th chord. So I'm just playing the E, but I'm changing the voicing here. This is what I mean. Technically, my E is here, right? Are we clear? Good. E is here. After playing, I thought I could change the voicing here. Instead of playing this chord, I'll simply play the same chord, but I'll take my third. By that I mean this. If you an E here, this is your third. This is your third note. So I'm just changing this third here, bringing it back up here. So I'm changing my third here, and I'm bringing it up here. The same note. And I've got my fifth and my one. So you go E, you got the fifth and the third. And that's why I'm holding it like this. I can add E here. To give it a fancy name, this will be the chord that you will normally see is written E/G sharp. It just simply means it's your E. You've changed the third, the sharp here. You've just not substituted, but you've only played it from a different octave here. So this is our E/G sharp. So I'm playing. You'd wonder, where is the fourth being played there? Where is the D being played? But the D is played within that melody. So when I play, there's my D. That's my fourth chord there. But because I'm using the 10th intervals, it's really hard to see it. But within the melody, you can sense it. Now that I have dissected it, you can see that there's a D there. That's a fourth chord. Piece of advice I can give you here is speed is meaningless right now. The most important thing is to get these things accurate. Now get those 10th interval accurate, and then after that you can start speeding up your playing. So start with then after that you can go once you are fine with that, you can then speed up again. Every time I create a melody, I always try to make sure I add one or two things to it. So within the melody that I was playing, I added something like this. Again, I'm still just using the 10th intervals here. So to play the whole sequence, this is what I'm doing. I hope that is clear. Now, the next part of the 10th interval that I tried to, play with was this. So I moved up a bit higher. I went here. me play that slowly. So after playing that, I added something very strange, which was it's actually outside of our progression of 145. And this is what I played. You can add that or you can't. It's up to you. But you know, it's just there if you want to add them. I'm playing the third. Usually the third is a minor, but I'm playing the third as a dominant 7. That's what gives that color. Like, whereas the third should be. So I'm playing. And even the 6th is supposed to be a minor, but I'm playing it as a dominant 7. This is what I mean. I'm playing the third as a dominant, the 6th as a dominant, and then the second is a minor 6. Finishing it with my 10th intervals, obviously. So let me play that melody of the rhythmic guitar slowly so you get everything that I played at the beginning. So I hope you got everything that I played from the rhythmic guitar point of view. I can't leave you without showing you what I played on the solo, because I know some of you like to have an idea of what I was playing on the solo. Now on the solo part, I didn't use a lot of 10th interval. I don't think I even used them. I only utilized the 6th intervals, the 3rd intervals, and those the 2 intervals I utilized there. I think I probably touched a bit of the octaves on the solo part, but I'll probably demonstrate 1 or 2 things I've done there so you have an idea. I know the purpose of this tutorial was to show the 10th intervals, but yes, we can add the 6th as well because we use them everywhere. Watch this. I think I played something like. Obviously, see the 10th interval, so 10th intervals, and then I went. Here I'm using the 6th intervals. Again, the 6th intervals, as the name suggests, there are intervals that you use 1 and 6, for example. If we're in A, for the instance, 1, we count the sixth note. It's which is a relative, obviously. So it's a minor of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the sixth interval. So you need to be able to play that as well. Take your time. So again, I went more into depth when it came to the 10th interval, but you can also utilize same principle for the 10th, for the 6th intervals. I get them confused. So yeah, practice your 6th interval as well across the whole fretboard. Take your time. I can't go into the details of the 6th intervals. I hope you take your time to practice them because they're really important. So again, this is the melody I played in the solo, which went. I then added more. Again, still using the 6th intervals. Let me play that slowly. Let me play that melody again a bit faster than that so you get what I was playing. I hope you got the idea of what I was playing there. And then after that, I kind of moved the bass slightly higher. So I went somewhere here. Now these melodies are just like, if you listen to songs like Seigneur or Marie Misamu or Ntiama Mère or Sir Leur Mbongo, you know, they tend to have a melody at the end that typifies the song. So this is like one of those melodies that I thought I can typify the rhythmic guitar I was playing. So the melody went like this. I'm playing this. Again, major scale here. Obviously, it is boring if just playing that melody over and over again. I tried to add, variation, just to make sure that it sounds more variant, just like COVID. So I added this. So here I played a different melody. I don't know where it came from, but that melody went like this. Here I'm actually playing with a bit of pentatonic scale here. So I'm doing other times I am adding this. So there are varieties of things I'm playing there, but I just want you to get the core melody, which is so let me just do a recap of the solo things I played. So I played something here. Guys, I can't thank you enough for your patience. Thanks for spending your time watching this tutorial. I know it was a bit longer than I anticipated due to the amount of information that I had to make sure that I put out there. But I actually wanted to make sure that I cover most of the things so that there's no gray area, so you're not left with unanswered questions. So I made sure that I answer most of your questions. But obviously I know different people are watching this video, so depending on your level, you might not be able to sort of understand some of the things I've said here. Just comment below. We will look at your comments and see if we can maybe come again with another better tutorial to make sure that things are done properly. I hope it has contributed to your journey of learning how to play the guitar. To me, learning is it's an endless, it's interminable, it's a perpetual journey. Like, there's no way you will stop learning. Every day you do learn. Every day, even me, I still learn. There are things that I'm not able to do and I would like to do. And it's only by learning. And learn comes by being patient and being resilient. Just make sure that every time you have a setback, you don't feel it. Get motivated. Look for something new. Look for new idea, new combination, new varieties of notes, new ways of theories. Different chords. I do spend time just looking at the chord. I'm like, how can I call this chord? Something I get it wrong. Look for research. You've got internet that can help you answer some of your questions. So I'm talking too much, but the point I'm making here is just take your time, practice these things I've showed you. You can play them at any speed, but make sure that you do them accurately. So, especially for my friend Jeremiah, thanks for your question. It's really a good question because it gives me more information of what you wanted me to do and how you wanted me to explain things. So thank you very much for your question. I'm looking forward to hearing more from you, mate. But for now, I'll let you practice these things I have thrown at you. Make sure you practice them perfectly. I hope to see you next time. I know I keep saying that I'll bring a lot of tutorials. There are so many tutorials I'm preparing. This one that you see here is one that is on its way as well. So there'll be more tutorials coming. Just stay tuned. If this is your first time to come across our YouTube channel, Congolese Music, then I would strongly encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss out some of those tutorials that we'll be bringing forth. So thank you very much for subscribing, and for those who want to find us on social media, the links are below there. You can find me, your humble servant, on Instagram, Patient Watupa. We have an Instagram called CongoleseMusic. You can join there as well. We've got a Facebook page. Yeah, we have a Facebook page called CongoleseMusic. So there are varieties of ways that you can get through to us, by sending your question or something that you don't understand. And we will see if we have the time to answer your request. So again, I hope to see you next time so that, again, we do what we always do on this channel, which is to explore the beauty, the elegance, and the intricacy of our Congolese music. And for now, I shall leave you and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Au revoir. Bye bye.